Have you ever been sitting around your gaming table? We could really use some atmospheric music and some sound effects right now. Well, have I got a solution for you? Tabletone. Tabletone is a mobile tabletop audio app that makes it easy to create high quality immersive soundscapes for your gaming sessions. You can blend music, ambient sounds, and sound effects in real time to match any scenario, from a tranquil tavern scene to epic boss battles, all at the touch of a button. This app uses an adaptive audio engine and an ever-growing sound library that is 100% human-made audio. That means no generative AI. I've used this app in my gaming sessions and it is great. We can be walking through spooky woods, hearing some eerie sounds, and then when combat starts, with a click of a button, the tension grows with the heart-beating soundtrack and sound effects to go with it. And the best thing is, Tabletone is free to download on the iOS and Android so that you can try it for yourself. It comes with full functionality and a starter content pack so you can begin right away. But if you want to add more sounds and content, then you can use code TONE20 to get 20% off your order in the store app. So take your gaming sessions to the next level with Tabletone.
Oh, Hilton stay, your beds are soft and cozy. No lumpy couch, no stiff futon, no shower line at crack of dawn. Oh, Hilton stay, oh, Hilton stay.
When you want holiday comfort you can count on, it matters where you stay. Enjoy comfortable rooms and friendly service when you stay with Hilton instead. Save up to 25% this season when you book with Hilton. Hilton for the stay. Terms apply.
Hey y'all, it's time for Rolling Dice and Taking Names. In this episode, the guys review Covenant, D&D, Edge of Realms, Enthrone, Beast, and Isle of Cats Duel. Plus, Marty gives a review of Final Fantasy Tactics. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to get back to decorating 11 Christmas trees.
Hello and welcome to Rolling Dice and Taking Names. This is episode 365. My way. My name is Marty.
I'm Tony.
Now, of course, if you hear My Way, I immediately think of the Frank Sinatra or Elvis song, but that's not the case. I don't know why you picked Limp Bizkit, and Limp Bizkit is, I have no idea what the song sounds like, so while you talk, I'm going to go hear it.
Okay, well, you go hear it, but the reason why is to keep in check with all of our other songs recently. Their bassist just died. So there you go.
There you go.
There you go. I was just trying to keep with the theme that's going along here, but I can't remember.
Just trying to listen to a song.
Oh, my bad. So I'll let you listen to it. It's actually pretty darn good.
I don't know this song.
I know you don't. You're not a Limp Bizkit fan. I don't expect you to know this song. But I did hear that 80s are coming back in a vengeance right now. Somebody was telling
80s?
me the 80s music. Yeah, they were telling me that their teenagers are listening to 80s music again. I'm like, it's never went away. Because they hear it at the grocery store.
You remember we had the discussion about like CDs and cassettes coming back? And I mean, if that's the case, a lot of these younger people are going to be exposed to this older music that was on cassettes and CDs. I mean, I guess, I don't know, do modern artists still sell CDs?
Maybe outside their tour venue. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. I know that a lot of them do like vinyl now. A lot of them do like vinyl releases and stuff. I don't know if they do particular CDs, but so the bass player passed away, huh? Okay.
Yep, sure did.
And Limp Bizkit's one of those that if you played the most popular Limp Bizkit song, I could tell you I know it, but I wouldn't have told you who sang it.
Yeah, I didn't know a lot of their. I'm trying to remember, Rebecca bought me a CD a while back. And I can't remember if that was Limp Bizkit or some others, Foo Fighters or somebody. She goes, you just need to listen to this. You need to come on into the late 90s, early 2000s, Dad. Let's go. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Now, I do like some of Foo Fighter stuff. I mean, Dave Grohl has a good band, stuff like puts on a good show. I like him. So yeah, I do know his stuff. Before we got started, I just want to say, I love LEDs. Mm-hmm. The fluorescent tubes in my garage finally just burned out. And I have 4 of them in there. So I went to Lowe's to get replacements. Of course, I got LEDs. I mean, I can't stand the fluorescent bulb, the tubes, because you got to warm up and all this stuff. So it's like, all right, we're going to go LEDs here. They're really cool. So they have 3 settings on them for the different colors that whatever color you want. Mm-hmm. Either daylight, blue, or like warm. So I did I did the middle one. I don't like the really blue daylight thing. But I'm bringing this up is because the ceiling in my garage is probably about 20 feet high.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a 16-foot A-frame ladder.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that. I mean, I'm up there, and you know what those tubes, you got to twist them so that they come out of the ballast.
Uh-huh.
That's not the hard part. It's when you're putting the other one in and you're trying to look behind you because I mean, I'm like leaning, you lean up against the ladder so you're not leaning back. And then you're trying to reach behind you to slot in the back of one end of it because it's a 48-inch length tube. And then slot the other. Yeah. Was not Vanessa said, we just need to get somebody to pay to do that. I went, no, I'm doing this.
Where is your over 6-foot Brett's son?
He's at an RPG session today.
Well, he can RPG himself back and put him in tonight with you holding a big old flashlight. Say, boy, get up that ladder. Do like you and I. Boy, go fix that. Let's go.
They're installed. It looks great. However, something has happened to my electrical switches, and I can't figure out what. I have a switch in the garage, and I have a switch inside in the house. You know how it should be they're opposite of each other. If I turn it on inside, I go outside and turn it off. It doesn't work that way anymore. The one outside in the garage works correctly. If I flip it up, lights come on, flip it down, lights come off. But if I have it flipped down and I go inside, no matter how I toggle the switch inside, nothing happens. But if I go outside and flip the lights on in the garage, and then go back inside, then if I toggle the switch up inside, they're off and down is on.
Huh.
It must be a bad, I was going to say a bad switch, but this is, I don't know how that switch could break. It's just a switch. I don't know. I couldn't figure it out. I'm sitting there with Vanessa. Flip that thing again. I'm going to flip it here. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense.
But it's always worked.
Yes. So the switch outside is like a main switch. If it's not flipped up, the one inside is not going to do anything at all. And it's never worked that way. They're just opposite. They've always been just opposite of each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. Well, you got me on that one, man. I'm sitting here thinking about how it's going to flow. I mean, 2 electrical engineers, you got to complete the circuit in order for it to make it happen. But it sounds like a master type switch. I'm just speaking out my butt right now. So no idea, man. Good luck with that one. I got nothing.
And so I guess I got to make sure it's not a faulty switch or something, but
I was going to say, you may have to, but if the outside one has to be on for the inside one to work, it's in, I'm just thinking how in series parallel, they're not in parallel. So it's got to be in series. I don't know.
Yes. So yes, it acts like it's in series. You're exactly right. Yes. And where one switch is closed so that the other one can still turn it on. But what's weird is it's backwards. Flipping it up turns it off.
Yeah. Oh man. Maybe Google's got your answer for you or YouTube. I'm just saying. I don't know. Yeah. I know people, friends of ours, when they built their new house a couple years ago, they drove the electrician crazy because she wanted to make sure she didn't matter which light, you got 2 light switch controlling the light. Yeah. All right. On either end of the thing. She didn't care as long as when you pushed one of them up, the light came on.
Okay.
And if you push, and then to turn it off, you have to push it down.
Okay.
If you go to the other side of the room, if you push that one up, it should not turn off the light because it's in the off position now. She always wanted them to work that way to where either one push up, it's going to turn it on. So if you want it off, you have to go to the other one to turn it. You have to always be at the one you turned on to turn it off.
Correct.
I understand that, but I'm like, but now let's say you're across the room. What difference does it? I don't like them when they're not lined up right.
That's Vanessa. She just like that. We've got a hall light in the stairwell going down to the basement, and if they get off, she has to go and flip it so that they're back in the correct order.
Oh, man. All right. before we get into my big topic, what is this about your favorite thing, Arkham Horror?
All right, so I'm in a really cool campaign right now. It's Feast at Hemlock Vale, which is a really, probably one of my favorite scenarios I've done. Each of the maps are so really unique and cool. We played one the other day that was a tower defense game. The way the cards that were laid out, we had basically a farmhouse in the center, and we had a paths coming in from the east and west and paths coming in from the north and south. And every round, monsters would spawn on the end and march inwards. And so we're having to lay traps and stuff all over the place to try to survive the night. It was basically try to get to the morning time and keep as many people as alive as you can. It was just a really, really cool experience. They've not done, from what I remember, anything like that where it was strictly like you could build barriers, you could build traps where if they hit the trap, it blew them up. It was just a really cool thing. Another thing they did in this scenario that was neat, you built a map of a house. It was like a 3-story house that had a fire at the top. And if you didn't put out the fire, the upper floors would collapse on top of the others. So an entire row of cards would be removed and it would fall. So everything would slide down. It's just been a really, really cool campaign I've really enjoyed. So I'm bringing that up to say that they just recently announced during the week of Halloween, they're going to come out with a brand new core box. So they announced a while ago that they're going to kind of go to more of a legacy type format to where they're going to only support a certain number of sets and then rotate every so often. And to kind of kick that off, they're coming out with a brand new core set where everything will be kind of based off that. So any future sets will require a few cards out of that base set for other expansions. Now, the problem is, as a longtime player like me, what if you don't want to go buy another core set? And there's a lot of people that have issues with that, and I totally understand that. I'll give them credit. At least the core set is not just a reprint of the previous one. It is some brand new investigators. It is some redoing of some investigators. It's a new campaign inside the core box. So I still will pick it up just because I want to be able to continue playing. But what's neat is in a few weeks, towards the end of November, I'm going to get to spoil one of the cards, do a reveal for that in there. So keep an eye on YouTube, X, and Instagram. And I'll do a short like I did with the Star Wars Unlimited card reveal. And I'll do one there. And I think it's Seeker that I'm going to get to show off. So anyway, new core set coming. Still enjoying the current campaigns I'm playing. So if you've never played, early next year will be a good time to jump in.
Okay, that's good to hear. Yeah. I mean, I'm glad you're still enjoying it. I mean, it didn't grab me when I had that core set, and that's fine. Hey, that's good that you're able to do that. Get some use out of those cards.
Oh, yeah. Play once a month at least.
Wow, that's good, man. I tell you, it's kind of like, I mean, I know last weekend you had the ability to go do a Star Wars tournament with some people from our gaming group, and how'd you do?
How did I do during that?
I think you won on Saturday, didn't you?
Well, I got a win because I got one bye. Tied in another, lost another. There you go.
1-1-1.
Yeah, 1-1-1. But the really cool thing is I played Saturday and Sunday, and I did much better on Sunday. But Sunday is also the days that the regulars show up. So all the guys that heavily compete and go to the planetary competitions and went to Vegas and stuff, that's their day to play. So those are the best players in the area. And every round that I played, I won at least one match against those people, which made me feel good. Winning one against these, I felt pretty good. And I was competitive the entire time. So I felt like, hey, I built a decent deck going up against these guys who have already studied all these cards. They know all the cards in the set. They were kind of ready to go. So it felt good to get out there and do that and walk away with, okay, that wasn't too bad.
Okay. How did our buddy Nate do? Designer of the
Nate only got to play one round. He had to go home, unfortunately. It does take a while because they give you 45 minutes to an hour to build the deck. And then we played best of one here. They do best of three there. So he only got one round. I believe he lost that round. So he really didn't get to see how his deck played at all.
Okay. Well, that's cool. Well, hopefully it'll line up on my calendar a little bit better. And I can drive 3 hours to get there. How far is that one from your house? I know you're 45 minutes from me, so I was just kind of curious.
Yeah, it's 15 minutes.
It's 15 minutes. Okay, so about an hour then, because it's in Matthews, right?
It is. So however long it took you to get to your local game store when it was there would take you the same amount of time to this one.
Okay, very good then. Yeah, so yeah.
And I think I know we're in the process of talking actually just today, like 5 of us or so get together and do a little draft amongst our friends here, which would be fun.
Absolutely. And of course, around the holidays, we'll make scheduling that much easier. Hey, Thanksgiving, what are you doing? I got these people coming in. Oh my goodness, going on. But so I've got something that I need you to watch with Vanessa.
Okay.
This is season 2 of a show called Finding Mr. Christmas.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Is this the Hallmark reality?
Yes.
No, Vanessa had no interest in it. When it came out last year.
Oh, it is so cringe. Oh my gosh.
I know, and I think that's why. Again, when it came out last year, she went, "Oh my gosh."
So Donna found it, and I was like, "What is this?" And she goes, "There have all these very nice looking gentlemen come into, it's kind of like a Big Brother house, but they're all nice to one another, and all this stuff. And of course, they're all they must spend a lot of time exercising and everything." And I'm like, what is going on here? And it's one of those shows that she's enjoying. And I'm just like, I've got to watch the train wreck and see what happens. But I will say that I can't remember her name. She's on the Reba show. She was on Reba, and now she's on the new one, Happy's Place. Blonde lady, very funny. She makes the show. Without her, I'd be like, okay, I'm out. I am done. But I'm like, okay, I'm thinking, Finding Mr. Christmas. She's teed it up. She got me good. She's like, oh, but it's going to be it's a reality show. And I think you might like it. Come on, let's watch this. I was like, oh, you suckered me in so good. They had them suspending and pretending they were reindeer. Come on, just do one show. It's not a baking show. Come on, do it.
No.
Oh, why not, man? Expand those horizons.
Vanessa's already watching Elsbeth, so.
Oh, that's CBS. Come on to the dark side. Come on to the dark side, big boy.
She's one. I will say that character was in. Was it A Good Wife? She was in another show, so it was kind of a spin-off character. But the actress that plays her, she is funny. I give her credit. She is funny.
Okay. All right. Well, so that's got us into the Christmas mode, which means it's time for the rolling dice and taking names. Secret Squirrel. You've got the poll. You got it ready to go on Elfster.
Yep. Did I post the link on Elfster? I need to make sure I posted it. I think I did. Posted a link on our Discord channel in the Secret Squirrel channel with a link if anybody wants to participate in this year's Secret Squirrel. So it works just like a Secret Santa. Everybody's going to draw a name. We have a date that everybody needs to have them shipped by. And then if people want to, we typically get together in like a Discord channel, turn on the cameras, and we show off what everybody got, which is always kind of fun too. So you can get all the details of that. The deadline for that's going to be towards the end of November. So if you want to sign up for our Discord channel, if you're already there, just look in the Secret Squirrel channel. If you want to know how you can join the Discord, just head over to our website, rolldicetakenames.com. There's a link right there.
Mm-hmm. And one thing I want everybody to know, we got a good limit on this. It doesn't always have to be just a board game. We've received inserts, various things from Etsy that can enhance your board gaming. Like one year I received coasters with Carcassonne tiles on them. Love those, use them all the time. Anything like that's a great gift for gamers that may have a lot of games, but who knows? So don't just think, oh, I gotta go. No, you don't have to just do that. But I will say Miniature Market makes it very easy. $5.99, ship it anywhere in the country for you, and they'll take care of you.
Sometimes I do put things on, like stuff on Etsy, or like some components that would be good for a game.
Did you get those things for Lord of the Rings Fellowship?
I did. Sure did.
How'd they turn out?
They're very nice. I haven't used them yet, but they're exactly as described.
Okay. Well, I can't wait because we're going to win that. I'd like maybe as the games slow down a little. Maybe we'll get that back on the table on our game night. I'd love to do that.
Oh, does it play 5-player? I was going to say on the day that we have our Star Wars draft, we're all together. That could be a game we just pull out and play if we want.
Absolutely. Well, I do know that it's beginning now with my other, our older friends. I took over a couple games the other night to see, are they going to enjoy playing them? One of them was Positano, which is the game where you're building the cities on the cliffs of Positano in Italy. And based on the drafting mechanism where you're bidding, and you're able to take, okay, when Positano, the first row is where you'll be able to place your building. The second is how many blocks you can get or use. And then the third building is what color roof. And the roof colors determine your scoring. The other thing that determines your scoring is can you see the ocean? Can you see the beach from your building? And if so, that's great. But so other people are being competitive with you, trying to block your view to limit your scores. They were like, no. Not. They didn't grab them. I like the game. I enjoyed the game. That's why I brought it out. Then I put on the card game that we got at Gen Con with the double suits. That we were like, ooh. They were like, no, this is too much.
That is too much. That's almost too much for me.
I was explaining to them, but they got the scoring mechanism. Of based on the suits, and I'm like, so you have to get out of that mindset of the bid, and they couldn't do it. So then we pull out a deck of cards, 52 cards, and everybody was happy. I'm like, oh my gosh, we have transitioned to just a deck of cards. Oh, Lord. I'm like, okay, just go ahead and start selling them off.
What did you play
on cards? Regular cards?
Yeah.
Opusha, the only game they play.
Okay, so. There's kind of like equivalent of that stuff in the hobby space. It's just better versions of that.
Too much. That's what I'm saying. It has begun. Get ready for it. I'm just telling you. I was just like this. Okay. So I don't have to bring games anymore.
Do you have a deck of bicycle cards? Yes, we're good.
I went to Sam's. I picked up the big case of them for, so I can do hand and foot and all these other games. I was like, man, okay, I guess I've reached that age now, All right, fine. I can handle it.
Yeah. Well, I'll just keep, at least we got a decent gaming group here where I can play stuff that I want to play. So I don't have another real gaming group anyway. So
it's just family. Really I'm with you.
Just for family. And they'll try anything as long as it's so Clover. So.
And one that you just picked up, a special one at Walmart, which aligns to the Christmas theme, Flip 7, The Grinch. You were excited 100%. About that.
It was a quest. Went over there after game night. I went into the store and it's like, I can't find it. And I just happened to ask, I saw a guy, I said, do you happen to know where this is? And I said, it would be on a huge display with a bunch of other Grinch products. He said, go back and check in our garden department because we convert that to our Christmas area.
Oh,
sure enough,
really?
Right at the front, big display right there.
So not with the toys and games, but with the Christmas stuff.
Yes. And they had plenty of them because people probably just don't know what it is.
No, they have no idea. I mean, it doesn't change the game of Flip 7, does it?
Nope. Not at all. Every rule card that's in there just has a different name and stuff. It's just got the who's on it and stuff like that and the really cool art. I bought 2 copies because Vanessa's going to take one with her to her family to play for Thanksgiving and leave it there because I thought that'll be a hit for them.
Okay. Yeah, I'm tempted to do it because even my copy of Flip 7, I think I need some type of hook to get people to play it again. Yeah. To see how it is. And this would be definitely the hook. And then after the Christmas holidays, then go back to the original.
Sure. Oh, okay. So we teased last time for our taste buds that we actually did a couple taste buds at our big Boobaku event. We did the hot sauce. We also had a bunch of chips, different flavored chips that were sent to us. So as a group at Boobaku, a lot of people tried the chips. It was 3 different flavors of chips. We'll give you our thoughts and we'll rank each of those or see which one people like best in this episode segment of Taste Buds.
Taste buds. incredible stuff. Taste buds. 2 incredible stuff. Taste buds. They're just a bunch of.
Tony, we have a very special taste buds.
Yes, we do. You've already mentioned it once already, so we're going to get into this, aren't we?
Well, you mentioned it once from an episode that people may not have listened to. So a listener, Patrick, sent us some very special foods to try. And what we're going to be trying today is 3 unique potato chips that he sent. We're recording this live from BBQ. And everybody here is going to try these 3 chips. And then we're going to vote on which one that we like the best.
All right. Well, tell us what the chips are that people are going to have. Are we going to do these in order? As you mentioned?
Well, I'm just going to grab one and we'll start here. So the first one is it's called Walker's Chips, and it's puckering pickled onion. Ooh. So I'm just going to start passing this around the group. Everybody's going to take a chip, and then we'll try the chip together. Pickled onion, I don't think will taste too bad.
Some people are already grabbing multiple chips here.
Do other people get to talk, or is it just you two?
I can give up the mic right now. She's a natural.
So here we go. So this first one again is pickled onion. All right, y'all ready? Yeah. Here we go. It's kind of like a sour cream and onion style.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. Not a fan.
No.
All right. Too tart and tangy is what I'm hearing.
I still pickle chips.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
This is a little more extreme.
It's pickled, so I think it's got the more of a vinegary type taste to it.
We got a lot of pucker faces here.
Okay. All right.
Vinegar, but I don't care for this one.
That's the first one. All right.
Your face doesn't say interesting.
All right.
Interesting is never good.
We have prawn cocktail. So I'm assuming it's going to be like cocktail sauce.
It's going to be
shrimp cocktail sauce.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to taste like shrimp.
It's not going to be fishy?
I wouldn't think so. I would just, what I'm guessing, I don't think it smelled fishy. Oh, wow. All right, so people are grabbing the chips as they go around the table here. All right, so we had a technical issue. As I was passing around those prawn cocktail chips and we actually tasted the chip, I looked down and go, oh, the battery died on the recorder. So, Tony, I am now patched in.
I can see that.
No batteries anymore. We're plugged in. However, the chip that people now have in their hands are the third chip. So we're going to come back to the prawn in a second because everybody is now holding a seaweed chip.
Okay.
All right, so this is a Lay's seaweed chip, and I did not get one. So, thank you. All right, so we'll come back to the prawn in just a second, everybody. But now we have the seaweed, which I'm really not expecting much with this one. All right, here we go.
Let's go.
Actually,
It's very light.
it tastes like a veggie chip.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, you're very bad.
Hold on.
Opposite of y'all. I don't like that one.
Get out.
I like that one.
Emily does not.
All right.
It just tastes like a
I like
potato chip.
No, it has a little bit of
I'm not getting anything out of this, so I guess I'm immune to it, or I've eaten enough of it over my kale.
Can you hold the mic towards your
I'm
face?
getting other people.
Well, okay, it's not going to work that way.
It's not going to work that way?
It's not going to work
Okay.
that way.
I thought the seaweed was the best of the three.
All right. What's up? No. We have to try the prawn.
We haven't had the prawn.
We haven't had the prawn in quotes. It hasn't happened, y'all. So now, for the first time ever, we're gonna pass around the prawn cocktail chips, and I'm gonna try that again.
If you don't want one, pretend.
While we're passing that around, Marty, I want to say we kind of have a crossover podcast going here, don't we?
Look at her billing everybody.
Yeah. It's not all about RDTN.
I'm sorry.
That's right. We have actually all the way down from Indiana, beside Ohio. We have John and Emily Detmer. John, Emily, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's
And
great to be here.
Where can you guys hear y'all?
Encourageable Party Podcast is where we do RPGs, do all kinds of things, mainly a D&D campaign podcast. Doing it for about 6 years now. It's great to jump in if you ever want to do anything RPG.
And we've even been on that, so now back to us.
That's true.
All right, after we eat this chip, then we'll tell everyone else who's here.
Okay. My goodness. She's taking over the show, isn't she?
Once again, I got an exit strategy.
All right. For the first time ever today, The prawn cocktail chips.
Here we go. Yeah.
Sweet. It's sweet. The first time we actually tried this, people said it tastes like ketchup, cocktail sauce, which is. It's going to taste like cocktail sauce. All right. We have one that's the pickled onion, which is very pickly, very vinegary. We have the sweet one, which is the prawn cocktail, and more the neutral flavor, which is seaweed. So, by hold of hand, is your favorite the pickled onion? Wow. We have two people who have favorites are pickled onion, which is Mark and Emily. All right. Next, whose favorite is the prawn cocktail?
I guess I have to go prawn. I don't like any of them, but that.
All right. John and Steve, who's also here, who did the barbecue for us. Thank you. That's their favorite, which means I guess everybody else is the seaweed.
Seaweed.
Vanessa, Bert, Nate, myself, and Tony like the seaweed the best. So of these three, seaweed is the most popular. So at next barbecue, we'll have 3 big bags of seaweed barbecue chips. Luckily, it's the biggest bag, so you and I can enjoy these later on. So, all right, there you go. A big thanks to Patrick for sending these in to us. I appreciate that. So, if anybody wants to try these, I don't even know where he got them from.
I mean, who knows?
I think you got them from an Asian market, he said.
I've seen them.
Your Discord channel, and they can ask.
Oh, I could.
Patrick would share.
Could go to the Discord channel. We could for sure ask.
I am so going to be replaced. This is awesome.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
5-minute initiative begins in 3, 2, 1.
All right. Seems like there's a lot of 2-player games that Marty and I have been able to get to the table. And one of them is from Smirk and Dagger Games called Enthrone, designed by Sawyer West. Now, most 2-player games, you're going to have your army on your side and Marty's going to have his army on his side, and we're going to try to hit an objective. Life is good. That's not the case here. The board, various court members that have come out, and somebody is trying to get to the center of the court and survive, while the other person is trying to ferret out who that is and kill them off.
Well, both people are trying to do that.
Well, yeah.
Not just one person. Both people are trying to get their chosen piece to the center of the table, because at the beginning of the game, both of you are going to be dealt 3 cards. There are 8 pieces on this board, unique figures. Oh, by the way, super nice figures, big, tall pieces, and they're washed. They look fantastic. There's like a knight and a skeleton and a sorcerer. I mean, there's a bunch of different characters on there. So you're going to be given 3 cards. You're going to choose one. It's like, okay, this is the one I'm going to try to get to the center. But also on that card are a depiction of the 3 other pieces that are on the board, because getting your piece to the middle of the board is not the only way to win. The other way to win is by, if those 3 other pieces have been captured at any point in the game ends and you win. Or the last way to win is if there's a 4th piece captured, whoever caught the 4th piece, the game is automatically over. Now, Tony, what I liked is it doesn't matter who captures what. If you happen to take the action to capture pieces and it happens to be the 3 that I'm wanting to happen, I still win the game. You just don't know what they are. However, you do have a little reference card that maybe you can kind of deduce on who I'm moving around and who I'm capturing, who I might have.
Exactly. And with that, you're sitting there going, okay, well, how am I going to move these pieces while throwing you off the trail? And how you move these things, this is what I really enjoyed about the game. There's a sideboard over there that has each piece a very nice hexagon shape.
They're like acrylic tiles.
Acrylic tiles, gorgeous.
Yeah, super
if
nice.
If it's in one of the top 5 positions, you may pick that piece, slides to the bottom, and you may do the move action. You can move it. Or if it's in one of the top 2 actions, you may capture another piece, provided they are side by side. And if it's in one of the top 3 positions and it's your piece, it can then be ascended to the throne.
Move right to the middle of the board.
Right there. It's right there. You got to be next. It's not like you can hyperspace to it.
Right. Yeah. When you move, you can only move to an adjacent space. But typically, you can only move to an unoccupied space unless it's one of the top 2 pieces that you pick, which can allow you to move into an occupied space, and that's how you perform the capture action.
Right. But once you've captured somebody, that tile doesn't go away. It flips over to an arrow. Now, if somebody wants to take an action, they can go, okay, that arrow is pointing to the next piece down, and then there's another arrow, let's say 2 arrows back to back. It allows you to actually then break that board, because those 2 arrows may be up in the move space or the capture space. It's going to push down to the next available tile, acrylic tile, where you wouldn't have normally been able to take that action. Now you can. These arrows, that was just really cool. I really like that. And that was all part of the strategy. There's a lot more strategy to this game than you realize when we first play. There's a lot of setup, a lot of negotiation going on, trying to figure out, okay, I know which 3 pieces I need to capture. Maybe I can force Marty to capture one of them for me. Mm-hmm. All right. Because he thinks it's me, and that will help me. And maybe something will happen to where, and this happened in our game, the 4th piece captured is my 3rd piece that I need to win. He thinks he won, but I won. Ha-ha. There you go. Wow. This is a lot of strategy.
Yeah, there's an order of determining the winner. If there's multiple victory conditions, then there's like a table. And if getting the 3 of your pieces supersedes them having the 4th piece taken. Now, like I said, remember at the beginning of the game, 3 cards are dealt out. So 3 of the cards that he doesn't have. So which 3 that, you can eliminate right off the board 3 of the 8, right? Because you never reveal what those cards are. This is a game we just kept playing over and over again. And then the more we played, the more we got into, you and I would try to keep our main piece away from everybody else so it couldn't be captured, almost set up defenses around it, and then maybe instead of trying to get it to the middle, try to achieve another win condition. Mm-hmm. So you were saying, Tony, do you feel like if you play this a lot, is it going to be samey to where you're always doing the same thing? I don't know. Maybe if you just kept playing 20, 25 times, you come up with like a really good strategy. But I guess it does seem like because there's really 4 ways to win, that maybe it would be a little bit different every time you play.
And I think a lot of it has to do with the strategy on the sideboard, the acrylic tiles, how to set when piece comes off the arrow. How do I position that? That's a lot. There's 2 positionings. There's the positioning on the main player board, and then there's the positioning on that board as well, on what pieces to do. I want to protect a piece from being moved. I want to keep you from being able to capture, or do I want to feint and take one that says capture and make it a move so that you think? There's a lot of strategy over there, as well as on the main game board, setting up the defenses. So you've got both of those things going on. Is it samey? It's the same win condition. So yeah, but since there's the variety in which cards, that's going to make it different.
Yeah, no, I agree. And also, there were times when I would purposely move a piece, even though it wasn't good for me, I feared it would be good for you. Like I wanted that piece moved to the bottom so that it couldn't be activated again for quite a while, because I was worried that, let's say it's the 3rd piece that needs to be captured, and I don't want it put into a position where it could be easily captured at some point. So I would kind of try to keep it away from you to be able to do anything with it. So I really, really, really like this game because the rules are straightforward. Pick a piece, move it to an adjacent space. Done. Your turn is over. It's just there's so much more going on beyond that.
Yeah, don't expect anything. You got 15 minutes on the table here with this game. Played a couple times, put it away, let's move on. But it's a good filler. It's a good game to get out there. It's a good strategy game, and you don't have to sit there and worry about all this setup with 2 teams going on here and multiple cards and talking about, area control, all this. Straightforward, very beautiful game. Fun game.
Yep. Again, production, y'all. Mwah. Sweet. That is Enthrone from Smirk and Dagger Games.
5-minute initiative is complete.
Ignacy is still on cloud 9 after what a successful spiel he had at Essen. Sold out, seems like everything. Sold out of Bohemians and Age of Empires. I mean, I saw pictures of just tons of people in his booth just buying up everything. And it's available right now. If you want to go check out the hot game by Age of Galaxy and Bohemians, you can do so over at shopportalgames.com. Has available. Make some great Christmas gifts for yourself or other people. And while you're there, check out the liquidation sale. Right now, he's selling Dreadful Circus that was $40 for only $5, or Basilica, a 2-player game which was $40, is now only $5. So if you're ordering some of these, yeah, I know. If you're ordering some of these new games, these make, again, great gifts for you or somebody else. Throw in an extra $10 and get 2 games that are worth $80. Right now over at shopportalgames.com liquidation sale, you can find all the new games, old games right there in one spot.
Five-minute initiative begins in 3, 2, 1.
Another card game we got to the table was one called Beast from Pandasaurus Games, designed by Clarence Simpson. This to me seems like a ladder climbing game, but you're working cooperatively to do this. You're trying to build up. You're trying to get as many cards onto the table so that you win. Okay, you're supposed to get all the cards onto the table, run them up, but that would be kind of boring. But there are these beast cards that prevent you from doing that. Now, there are 4 suits of cards in here, and they are the standard ones, the hearts, the diamonds, the clubs, and the spades, but they are broken out into different, there's the whole or the broken suit and the whole suit of hearts, diamonds, clubs, and spades. This, Marty, that whole thought blew my mind when we were first learning this game, because it was hard for me to follow which was which, right?
Yeah. Graphically, you really have to kind of focus on, wait a minute, there's a broken and whole of every suit and knowing which one was which. Yes.
Yeah. And so as you play the game, first off, you call out, hey, I'm going to choose a suit in my hand and say, I'm going to play hearts. And I can play them any way I want to. The restriction is I have numbers in the common pool on the table, and I must be able to increment that number. So, for instance, you start out at 0 across the board.
There's 3 zeros. There's a ones place, a tens place, and a hundreds place. Yes.
And I play a 1. I won't play it in the ones place. Next, I'm going to play a 3 because that's higher than 1.
Yep.
And I'm playing that in the 1 space. Next card I'm going to play is, oh, crap, I got a 2. Well, I can't play it below the 3. Now I got to play it in the tens place.
Making it a 23. Yep.
23. Okay, I got 23. All right, I'm out of the
suit that you called. Mm-hmm.
Now, Marty, it's your turn. Your turn. Figure out how you're going to go from 23 up based on what's in your hand. Oh, wait, I just filled up my hand and a beast showed up. I got to put that in front of me because the beasts are going to restrict which suits I can play unless we can chase them away. That's what really was a challenge in this game.
The beasts are interesting because once a beast shows up on top of a column, you can no longer play that type of card, that suit, like a broken heart, in that column anymore. So if he's sitting in the ones, you can no longer play, let's say it's a broken club. You can no longer play broken clubs there. But when you draw a beast, it will immediately go on the table so that everybody will see, oh, shoot, by the time, let's say I draw it, by the time it gets back to Marty, we know that beast is going to be in play. There's a way you can scare off the beast. If, when that beast comes onto the board, and there is a like suit of that beast in the column beneath it, for example, if it's a broken club, and there's a broken club 3 in the 1 space, that scares the beast off, and he goes to the tens place. Then he looks at the card down there. If it happens to be a broken club, he moves to the hundreds. If there happens to be a broken club there, he goes off the board. So the round that the beast is revealed, everybody else tries to get the matching suit into play to help try and scare off that beast.
Now, I already said, you got to play all the cards. How does the game end? If all the cards in the deck and all the hands are played, all players win, and your score is the final number that is shown in the 3-digit displayed. All right? That's it. So you're just trying to make the highest number. You're trying to get to 9999.
Yeah.
Did I do 4 9s or 3 9s? Anyway, that's a perfect game. All right. I'll be honest with you. It sounds fairly simple, but the beasts are what makes this a challenge. Mm-hmm. And as far as tabletop goes, can't say what's in your hands.
Right.
So you have to be very, you got to say, okay, we just got to make sure that we're playing these hearts because we see the beast. Overall, I enjoyed playing it. It was a fun game. I think it was very challenging. I'm glad it didn't stay on the table very long for me because, that would have just drug it out, where we got into a bind. And I like the times when we were sitting there and you were like, Marty, like we talked about, why did you play that card? Because that's all I had to do. Okay. Leave me alone.
It's the only option I have. Now, there is one other thing that you can do. There is an option that if you play to the tens or hundreds space, you can discard the cards in the space beside it. So, for example, if I play in the 10 space, I have the option to take all the cards in the ones column or one space and discard them, resetting that back to 0. So there is a way to lower the numbers before it. Likewise, if I play something in the hundreds, I can do that with the tens and or the ones column. I can clear off those and reset that back. Tony, what's nice is, let's say there's a 099 in play and I play a 1 in the hundreds column. I can clear the tens and the ones column and reset our number back to 100. And that will allow us to hopefully progress further through the deck. So it does sound pretty brutal. There are ways to manipulate it, but again, it's the beast that really put the twist on the game.
Absolutely. And not all the beasts are in the game.
Right.
Only certain ones are placed in, and you'll have to look at your player. I mean, I think it's not all of them. There'd be 8 total beasts. So I think we only put 6 into the four beasts. Yep. Now, what will stink is suddenly you've got a myriad of beasts out there you might as well just shuffle. Go again.
A myriad of beasts?
That word too.
No, 100%. This game can be over before it ever starts.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, if you draw the beast early on, you're pretty much done. Just shake hands and take the cards in and shuffle and go again. That's just one of the things about these games, right? It's just if the things that can happen in Pandemic too, right? In a co-op game, sometimes it's like the worst possible scenario can happen at the start of the game, really ruining your chances of winning. It's the same way with Beast.
Yeah. Oh, and you're sitting there, well, why don't you just play a card to scare off you can't. That's one thing that sometimes you got to get people to understand when playing this game. You can't just play that card that matches the beast to scare it off. It has to be sitting there.
When the beast comes out, yep.
Yeah. And you got to keep in mind, if you want to clear them completely out, you've now accelerated into the hundreds place. And that's, maybe that's maybe getting all 4 beasts over to the hundreds. Could you do that? That'd be kind of rough. So yeah, it's definitely a challenge. It's not going to be one of those games you beat constantly.
Right.
So that is Beast from Pandasaurus Games.
5-minute initiative is complete.
All right, y'all. I think I found Tony's Euro of the Year right here. It's from Devir Games. Brand new hot game from them called Covenant. This is from designer Germain P. Milan, and the artist is Enrique Fernandez. Tony just absolutely rocked this game, y'all. It's like we played it, Tony wins, and we go, okay, we must have did something wrong.
Absolutely. That's fair. That is fair.
We are playing again. We sum up the scores again, and Tony wins again. Tony is a savant when it comes to this game.
But this is your type of game. It's a combo-licious game.
It didn't matter, dude. Yeah, it was combo-licious, but you pulled off the right combos and focused on the right scoring in this bad boy to come out ahead every time we played.
All kidding aside, great game. And I can understand why it is the hot game. But she's lengthy, people. She's a lengthy game. But the teach is easy, in my opinion. I mean, the teach was nothing at all. But you got to walk through the process, right, Marty? It's not going to be one of those, quick turnarounds or something like that. You just need to do the first round. Because there's not a lot of turns in this thing.
12. That would be 12 turns per person. You got 4 actions per round, 3 rounds. I also like the theme of this game. Your dwarves that are trying to, there's been a mountain that's has been destroyed, and you're going in and you're trying to remove rubble and stuff and reestablish buildings. It's kind of the theme that they're going along with it. So you're doing some mining and you're doing some transporting of goods and building new buildings, etc. But Tony, when you said the teach was easy, I think the reason why it's easy is because you have 4 dwarf workers that you will place each round, and there's only 4 actions with those workers that you can do. So once people get an understanding how each action works, then you're good to go. But the thing is by taking just one little action can cause a cascade of other actions that are provided to you. I could do an action doing this, and that triggers something over here that allows me to take this other action. And that's a lot of the game, is trying to navigate your way to go, okay, I want to set up my next turn so that when I do this, it allows me to do this and then this to set me up for the other turn. So there's a lot of planning. And I think the reason why the game lasts so long is because everybody's in that mindset of trying to maximize these only 12 turns. And even though 4 players is going to take 2 to 2.5 hours, I never really felt that it dragged too much, which kind of surprised me.
But there was a few times. There were a few times that it did, and I think a lot of it had to come in where, and we all did it. I mean, we were giving each other a lot of grief about, hey, you're still doing your turn, you're still taking your turn.
True.
Some of it was at the point where it was, okay, wait a minute, I'm not doing this right because I would be breaking the rules, because it's important to follow through with like the resources, I've overfilled my resource row where you're limited until you can unlock other spots. So you've got to take that into account whenever you're doing it. You're like, oh my gosh, if I do this now, then I'm going to have to forfeit these and then I won't be able to do this. Let me back this up, guys. And then we would go, all right, now what if I move up on this track? Because there's 3 tracks. And we'll talk a little bit more about it. But if I move up on this track, it's going to unlock this. Does this give me the capability of doing that? Do I want to unlock it this time? Oh, what if I go over here to do this? Because when you're first doing it and you've got the 4 actions, you've got the ability to dig into the mountain that is very lonely and full of mist, to rebuild the dwarf realm that you're doing. So you can dig, and that's the key aspect of getting resources, taking that dig action. So, and we'll talk about how all these actions work. And you're like, okay, I'm doing this dig action. Do I want to do this now? Because every action, you need to think about how it's going to impact the other actions, to your point of planning. This is 12 moves of pure planning. You've got to plan it all. Screwing it up, you're going to feel like a suboptimal turn sucks, because you're just gonna be like, this is just terrible. Why did I do it like this? I really screwed this up. I mean, I saw across the table Marty had his head down in his hands a few times. He's like, this sucks.
Yeah. And it's one of those games that I like, games that even though it was long, towards the end it's like, if I just had one more turn. And I'll really appreciate games like this that are it's fixed. 12 actions, you're done. I actually enjoy Euros more like this than where there's some sort of variable thing. Well, it just happens when the 5th of this or the 7th of this, or when this happens and this happens, it triggers the end of the game. I honestly like it. 4 turns, 3 rounds, game over, count up points. I see the finish line, and it doesn't ever feel like it's moving, sort of deal. I know when it's coming and can plan for it. And like you said, planning ahead is so important. I'm like, all right, I want to unlock my gate, but to unlock one of my gates that's on the board, I need to deliver a certain amount of materials to get that gate available to me on my player board. Well, to get those materials, I need to go take the dig action to get those materials, put it on my player board, so that next turn, when I do the transport, I can transport these materials to the board, which allows me to unlock a gate that the next turn, I'm going to take a build action to put that gate onto the board, which is ultimately going to give me some victory. Well, I don't say ultimately. Honestly, every one of those things can trigger victory points. I also like too, you're constantly getting victory points as the game flows. They're not saved up until the end.
Right. And then, oh my gosh, I've unearthed something on the dig. Monsters have appeared. Okay. And one thing I liked about when the monsters appeared, it wasn't detrimental to what just you did. You know how some games you'll sit there, oh, hey, they just popped up and they wiped stuff out, or hey, guess what? At the end of this round, if there's any monsters left, they're going to do something nasty to whoever's located here. That does happen at the end of the game. So you have to plan to get rid of them through the skirmish action where you go and battle. But I like the fact that in this game, skirmish allows me, if I kill them and I've got room in my dungeon, I'm going to get victory points for that. So it helps me be able to achieve a goal. Okay, so those are the 4 actions, y'all. Marty just went over them. There's the dig. There's the transport. There's the skirmish. And then there's the one that I just completely blanked on. Oh, my gosh. Build. All right. And you only have 4 on your player board. You only have 4 to begin, those 4 at the beginning. And every player board's different. Below that, you can then forge additional shops, the additional same actions that are available to you, which then unlock things on your board. Being able to expand your dungeon, expand your storage for your resources, get additional homes and forges into your supply so that you can then go build them in a later turn. Oh, and by the way, with all this going on, if you build in these areas, you can then open up in-game scoring. Oh my gosh, so you need to plan accordingly. Which do they align to your achievements? Well, if they do, then you might want to work on building in that area. You're planning all this out. I'm going to need to do I need 2 build actions during my next round? Or am I going to concentrate on skirmishing? Or wait a minute, what about transporting and making the hall that much better so that I can get victory points at the end of that and unlocking various things the pillars or the gates that I can use then, because one of my achievements is if I've got all my buildings out on there or buildings on my board, hey, I get additional victory points. There's your planning. How am I going to achieve all this near the end? And that's where you're always thinking through this. And we're going to keep going back to that.
I also appreciate too is I know it's a Euro and lots of times themes are pasted on, but the actions you did kind of make sense with the result of that action. Mm-hmm. So we talked about the actions you take. What they're called tools. You have 4 tools on your board: a pick that's used for digging, an axe for a skirmish, a compass to build, and a cart to transport. So one of the things you might be able to do is, for example, let's say I take a build action. And Tony alluded to this. If I build a forge out on the board, and by the way, the board is made up of randomly placed hex tiles with a certain set number turned face up that has raw resources in each of the hexes. As you play the game, you're going to explore into the mountain, or basically flip over tiles. And these tiles are where the monsters will spawn. In addition, there's places where buildings can be built. So let's say I built a forge. The forge action allows me to build a new tool. This tool is where I put my worker, my little dwarf worker, to take that action. So on the board, there are 4 tools available for me. And if I pay the right resource, I can get the tool of my choice slotted into my player board. And as Tony said, that will do things. It unlocks scoring. It could unlock additional buildings. You just put it wherever you want to. But now this tool is available to you the next round. So if I just took a skirmish action like Tony said, if I forge an axe tool, I get to take that skirmish action again. So in that case, I like that. I'm building buildings. I'm forging tools, which allow me to take the actions. One thing we hadn't talked about that's really neat is everybody starts with 4 dwarves. They're all strength 1. Over the course of the game, you can make them stronger, going from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. The higher their strength, the more powerful action you can take. For example, if I go and dig, the higher strength dwarf that goes to dig is able to bring back more resources. The higher the strength of a dwarf means more monsters that they can defeat. Because, like, for example, I think it's the goblins require strength 1 to beat them. and there's one that requires a strength 2, but those give you more points also. So you can assign different strength dwarves to do different actions. And you may think, well, Marty, what happens if you haven't been able to do that? Don't worry, y'all, because one of the resources is common that you get throughout the game is a beer. And a beer allows you to temporarily increase your strength by 1. This whole strength mechanism is one thing I also really liked of making your dwarf stronger, making your actions better over the course of the game.
Right. And then, of course, there are other things on your player boards that will be used to let you expand rules, like the scrolls. I mean, as you're progressing along the tracks, you may unlock an additional scroll that you may place onto your board. Well, guess what? You now have the ability, this scroll says that whenever you transport, you may transport one more additional. You get an additional strength. All right. So you're now breaking and also helping out the various tools that you're having to take. And how do I get these various scrolls? Well, that's if I go fight with the monsters. I get more renown from that standpoint. I get to the ability to say, hey, I've beat an orc, and therefore I get to move up on this track. Oh, and that track also, since I fought, guess what? I get to enhance a dwarf. He gets stronger, as Marty was saying. So I can choose one to flip over. Now, you only get 4. You can never add. You don't have 5 or 6 of these dwarves coming in. You're always just having 4. So you may take one of your dwarves that's a 1. You could beef him all the way up to a 4 and sacrifice the others at 1. I would not recommend that strategy, but you could do that. A lot of choices when these actions come about.
Tony mentioned the tracks. Every track on the board is increased by doing one of the particular actions. Also, anytime that you dig, it also allows you to flip over one of the terrain tiles that's on the board. And those terrain tiles have different actions you can take. Sometimes it's strengthening your dwarf. Sometimes it's getting additional resources. Sometimes it's adding inlays to your tools, which I'll talk about in just a second. And then others, it's just different things. So sometimes you'll just want to go dig so that you can get a free action of flipping this tile over and getting that benefit. Now, the inlays. So all of us have these basic tools we start with. There are inlays that you can purchase during the game, and they can either be passive, means when you take that action, it's always a bonus. Oh, when you take this action, you get to move up on that track every time you take it. Or it could be when you use this tool, not only do you get to take the action of the tool, you can take the action of the inlay. So now you're starting to doing this sort of combo thing of, hey, I've got this really sweet tool that when I take this dig, it also allows me to do this other action over here. And so I take 2 at once. So lots of times on your turn, the reason why they take long is because doing one thing allows you to do multiple things.
Here's another example of that. I'm going to take the dig action. So the dig action, I get my resources, I go down there, I expose something, and the tile I flip over on the back of it has, I don't know, let's say it's going to go the court track, okay? So I get to advance up on the court track. The court track then gives me the ability to get a king's coin, which then the king's coin allows me to then take an action on my board, which may be a forge action. It could be advance up on another track, which then opens up something for me. All right. Now the king's coin, since it's now on my display, when we get at the end of a round, we have this council. We go together and we have a council event, which allows us this kind of like end of round reset that now gives me various resources, which then could allow something else to happen based on what resources I have on my king's coin. There's your combos. There's your constant thing. How does this happen to get me to do this, to achieve this goal, which may set me up for the next round? 3 rounds, but I'm telling you, they fly by. They really do.
What weight would you put this?
On a scale of?
Just light, medium, heavy.
I would score this based on, I would say on the, I'm struggling here because out just at the edge of medium towards heavy.
So medium, heavy.
Medium heavy, yeah. If there was, a little bit more into it, then we'd just tip over, because of the rules, because of there's only 4 actions. That's what keeps it down from heavy for me.
Yeah, I agree. I was going to say, rules-wise, learning the game, medium. Playing the game, heavy. Because you really got to put a lot of thought into what you're going to do and plan accordingly. And to me, a heavy game is not necessarily always heavy rules that you have to keep track of. Sometimes it's just like it takes a lot of thought to play the game well.
Mm-hmm. I agree. You can't do it all. This is one of these games. You can't. You sacrificed one of the tracks.
I did. I totally sacrificed one of the track and didn't do that bad.
No, you were right there at the end. Oh, and did we forget these achievements that you get to draft at the beginning? In order to score them, you have to move up on the tracks. You have to get 4 to score 1 achievement, and there's these stars on these tracks, or 8 to score them both.
So, yeah, there's certain markings on each track, and you have to move your marker on those tracks over at least 4 of those markings to just activate 1. We found out getting them over 8 was tough. There's this one thing, you have a draft at the beginning of the game for starting resources. And one of the scrolls, is it the scrolls that you get? The thing off the side of your board, this constant, the one that you had, that Bert then had, where you only have to cross over 6 of those stars instead of 8 to score both. That was a big one.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Allowing you to score both of your achievements instead of just one. But so yeah, there is a little bit of drafting at the very beginning of the game, and that's one of those that when we played this the second time, we better understood what to draft that time. First time was like, I don't know, but next time it's like, oh, we were very conscientious of what we were going to take and what we needed.
Right, and those, I would call them scrolls because that's what they look like, but they're the tradition tiles.
Okay,
okay, the tradition tiles, yeah. So I don't know where to go from here. We really enjoyed the game. If you get an opportunity, from my standpoint, you should give it a definitely try. Just know that it's a quick game from the standpoint of you only got 12 turns. There's a little learning, but it's an easy rule teach. It's just understanding how things combo that will bring that satisfaction, because we all get satisfaction from pulling that combo out on your turn. I did this to get this, that allowed me to do this. Oh, look, this sets me up for my next turn. There's that satisfaction.
You said it was a quick game. I don't call it a quick game.
That's true. It felt like a quick game.
Well, 4-player, it's going to be 2.5 hours. I did say multiple times during our games that I wonder if 3 is the sweet spot, because there's not a lot of player interaction. Honestly, the only thing you might do is you might take like a tool that somebody else wanted, but it's not intentional. You're not purposely trying to mess with other players. It could just happen that way. So if for that reason, 3 players will be shorter, but you still get the kind of the full experience of the game. They just have some spaces covered up on the board for 3 players. Being Devir, the quality is top notch. The tokens and everything are screen printed, so there's no putting stickers on them. The resource tokens are acrylic. Those are really, really nice. You got dual layer player boards for putting your pieces in there, so everything fits nicely. So typical high quality Devir production.
Oh yeah, man, those wood pieces are amazing. It's too bad you didn't put stickers on everything. You would have been cussing us. Ooh.
Yeah, that would have been bad. So for me, I tell you, it's probably at the end of the year when we do a favorite Euro of the year. It's going to be on the list for me. It's really one of the best years. And I know that lots of times we say, "Oh, is this one of those Euros where you collect resources and do things with them and get victory points?" It is. It is. Mm-hmm. But it was done in a way that I just really enjoyed doing it. Yeah,
I wasn't having to sit there and get, gain 2 to get 1, 3 to do this, because in all honesty, in a way we weren't really doing that. We felt like we were forging, we were building stuff. It wasn't, I'm not doing a conversion. I'm not doing an Excel spreadsheet here.
And I think that's what I said earlier, where the theme really kind of fit with the stuff that we were doing. So I felt more engaged in the game. It's like, okay, this makes sense. Yeah, I've got to to be able to forge this tool, I am required a copper and, a gold piece. And if I do, then I get to forge that tool. That makes sense. Sure.
Right. Yes, this game will be on Tony's list of games to pick from in the Squirrely Awards, no doubt. But I'm going to have a hard discussion with myself in the mirror on whether or not it's going to beat another one that's there. So, I've already recognized that. Spoiler, it's going to be a tough decision.
All right, y'all. So hopefully we've given you enough information to know whether you want to try this or not. Again, this has kind of been on the BG hot list for quite a while. I see why. Devir puts out some really good Euro games, and this was no different. So if you have the chance and it sounds interesting, try out Covenant and come let us know what you think.
5-minute initiative begins in 3, 2, 1.
Do you like tile placement games?
Yes.
Do you like games from Phil Walker Harding?
Of course I do.
Then you should try Dungeons & Dragons Edge of Realms from WizKids Games. Tony, who played this, we're talking about 5-player game, plays like 30 minutes, something like that. You're basically building out a terrain of tiles. 16 tiles are going to be placed in front of you. Got a hand of 4, you're going to start with 1. And then each round, you're going to place a tile. Now, it says you must place these in a snake order, meaning you're going to start out with a tile, then you're going to place 1 to the right of that till you get a row of 4. You're going to go down to the next row, go back to the left, and keep snaking back and forth till 16 tiles are on the board. Your goal is to try to get as many matching terrains together as possible. Maybe take some actions that are on these tiles, put some exploration cubes out on the board. It's going to give you points at the end. So it is a very simple tile laying game that I really think is kind of good for anybody who really isn't a gamer to be able to learn and pick up and play.
All right. And part of this game is the in-game scoring, as always, is how do I place these tiles so I can achieve my various goals to give me the in-game scoring that I need to do. Now, and another thing I liked about this game is you have a hand of tiles and you get to pick which one you want to place out there. And oh my goodness, it can be rotated. There's no really issues with how you place the tiles other than they have to be orthogonal to the one that you just placed. You can break up your landscape however you want to. That's up to you, but it's going to hurt you in the end with your scoring because you're really trying to achieve squares of 4 so that you can place another tile on top of them to help you. You're trying to link largest land areas so that you can get some scoring possibly. I mean, all this comes into place. That's what makes it a tile laying game that you're like, okay, it's not as simple as just, okay, I'm just going to throw these down here and, count up the number of times my oceans have touched. You've really got to think through that. On the tiles, there are 4 actions that will happen when you place a tile. One of them is that you'll be allowed to move the hotel. Your explorer can move up to 5 spaces. And when he visits another tile that is a city or possibly another terrain type piece, then he's going to be able to
a landmark.
Exploration cubes can go out, which may, it all depends, help your in-game scoring. We'll see how that goes.
It always will. Yeah. Exploration cubes give you 2 points per cube at the end of the game.
That's not one of the quests, is it?
No, that's not one of the quests. There are quests based on exploration cubes. So yeah, every tile, and we're saying tiles, they're cards. They're not really cardboard tiles. They're cards.
True.
That they're made up of a 3x3 grid of the different terrains, but everyone's got this one little square that's a landmark. And like you said, one of them, the N, allows you to move your guys. So sometimes when you place your tile, it really depends on the action that you want on there. Let's say it's the wizard's tile, which allows you basically to terraform a terrain. Let's say there's a water space in the way. It's like, I wish that was rock. Mm-hmm. Well, if you play a wizard, you have these little squares off to the side of different terrain, and you could put it on top of an existing terrain piece and change it into something else, which is good because you may want to do like a 2x2 grid of something. And if you do, you can, when you lay the quarry landmark, you pick a city tile to cover up that 2x2 space, which has victory points worth at the end of the game. And the final action is a portal. Let's say there's this card I got in my hand. I'm not ready to use it yet. A portal allows you to put a card to the side and use it in a future turn. One thing I like about this, Tony, fixed ending to this game. I see 16 cards are going to be placed on the table. That's it. At the beginning of the game, there's also going to be some sort of random goal that's set up at the beginning of the game. First person to achieve that goal gets the most victory points. Second person gets the second most. And then finally, there's an in-game scoring goal.
And there is no interaction.
None.
And you're doing your thing. Marty's over there doing his thing. How he got there, don't know, don't care, because I got to do my thing to get the scoring. That's this game.
Yep. I mean, again, really straightforward, small box. Phil Walker Harding typically does do light, easy to understand games. This does take place in the Dungeons and Dragons realm. It takes place on the fields of Farron. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. So anyway, there's kind of a little bit of a theme to it. So again, very easy to teach. Plays in like 30 minutes. So if you're looking for, honestly, one of the more simple tile placement games, because it's very fixed where you can, the next tile that you're going to place must be placed here. You know, there's no like, where will I put this time? And also you get to play simultaneously. So everybody's taking their turns at the exact same time. So it flows pretty quick.
Absolutely. I mean, this family friendly, easy to explain. Hey, you got to do this. Probably the biggest challenge is understanding the scoring at the end.
Yeah. So that is Dungeons and Dragons Edge of Realms.
5-minute initiative is complete.
Head over to miniaturemarket.com right now, and I don't know how long this is going to go on, but they are doing a case sale. A case sale? What's a case sale, you ask me? It's where you get a case of stuff. For instance, one of our games that we really enjoyed, Catherine, the Cities of Tesserina, a case, 6 games for $61. Normal price, $240. So there's 6 games. Why would I buy 6 games of this? Maybe you have an event coming up. It's a great game. Why would you not get one? Hey, let's do a little Christmas shopping. What say you to that? They may have some smaller games that you want to take a quick look at. They're putting all this stuff together to make it easier. And don't forget, you know the Black Friday deals are coming. They're on their way. They've already done it once. They're going to have another one. Be sure to download the Excel spreadsheet. They always have that out there. Highlight the ones you want. Get ready to go. Get ready to push that button. Get ready, and be sure to take advantage of going in with your buddies, getting their orders together so you can get that free shipping. That's at miniaturemarket.com.
5-minute initiative begins in 3, 2, 1.
It seems like many of the favorite board games have come out with a version of Duel. 2 people. We've been playing a lot of these, and one of them, The Isle of Cats, designed by Frank West from the City of Games, has created its own The Isle of Cats Duel, where 2 people have their boats. They're going out trying to rescue the cats from the island, and then whoever scores the most points at the end of the game wins. Now, Marty, I never played the original Isle of Cats, but I think you said you did.
I did many, many years ago.
All right. The thing that pops in my mind when I saw this game was patchwork. The shapes, the Tetris pieces. I never can remember the word for those funky shaped pieces. It's not
tetrahedron, but they're not. They're not like Tetris.
They're not like.
There's more than 4 squares per. There's one thing I liked about this game was you had that market in the middle where you pre-populated the board with these pieces, and there was a grid showing you exactly how they would fit on your board. I really kind of appreciated that because you could quickly see, oh, okay, that's 3 blocks across, 2 down. And you quickly visualize it. Because lots of times in games like this, your goal is to try to fill up your ship as best you can. Cover all the ship and the rooms and everything. Cover up all the mice because you don't want any negative victory points at the end. So you're going to draft a tile, put it on your board. But lots of times it may be hard to visualize what you're looking at. But it's nice that it was done on the draft board that way. And I love how simple it is. You move 2 spaces on the board to an adjacent space. It could be a card that lets you do something, or an in-game scoring card, or it could be an actual piece itself. And any place that you moved over, you get to claim one of those and either keep the card, use the card, or put the piece into your ship.
Yeah, and if you take a piece, you don't have to use it. it can be discarded. So maybe you can play a little negative game with someone here. You can do a little gamesmanship. And moving that cat piece to be able to claim what you want, there was also a slight bit of strategy there because maybe I want to keep you from doing it. Because one of the biggest ways to score points besides the end game is by building a family of cats. And what do I mean by that? That is simply the color of the cats, all adjacent to one another. So if I have 4 blue cats, I'm going to get so many points. If I have 3 cats sitting next to each other, they like each other, I'm going to get less points. If it's 2, I get nothing and I like it. But as with always, it's how well you do the place of the various boards. I was sitting there watching Marty and his ship was looking amazing. It did not seem like you had any open spaces. Well, over mine, I was over there completely open, and negative points come in if you don't complete a room. And there's 5 rooms on a ship. So you'll end up having -5 points for every room not completed. Now, if a cat of a color covers up a treasure, when you place it, then these are these basic pieces. They could be a 1 piece, a 2 piece, a small L, or a long straight piece that will help you fill in the gaps. Very typical in these type of games when you're doing these, set collection, pattern building. That's what this game is. I liked it from the standpoint of I'm just not moving around a rondel collecting pieces. I like what you said. That market, I really enjoyed that aspect of it.
Yeah. And we did towards the end of the game. I was like kind of looking, it's like, I bet he really wants that piece. So I'm going to move away from there. Now, there is a way that you can get over there. You do have these fish resources that you get. You start with 3 at the beginning of the game, and you can spend those to move 1 additional space, or you can spend a certain number of them to jump all the way across the board to any area that you want. And the way you get some of those fish back is maybe it's a card that you land on that gives you additional fish. Or if you place a cat that has a little small fish icon on it, you get to claim a fish to be able to use later on. So that's the way you can break the I can only move 2 spaces rule. And what's interesting too is, Tony, that these cards that we talked about that came out affect in-game scoring. I did really bad on that because I collected a lot of them and achieved hardly any of them because I kept forgetting what I had. Like I would claim an achievement card and go, okay, I've got this, but then screw up later on. Like one of them said, if you have exactly 5 yellow cats, hey, you're going to get a lot of points. I accidentally drafted another yellow cat and placed it. And after I'd done it, I looked and went, well, crap. I just lost that one. It is also one of those things too, and I've seen this in other games, where if you just have a lot of in-game scoring that can happen, keeping track of what you have and make sure that you can still achieve it, because that was worth a lot of points at the end. You blew me away. Yeah, I had a pretty boat, but you were able to really achieve a lot of your post-game achievements that I wasn't able to do. We didn't mention there's also little mice that are on your ship, mice in some of the squares, and you need to cover those up. And if you don't, you'll get -1 at the end of the game for every uncovered mouse.
Right. Now, Isle of Cats, back in 2019, it was, a Golden Gate Board nominee. Meeples Choice Award nominee. Had all these nominations. So great game for back then. Like I said, I never played it. I cannot compare how it plays to the Duel. Overall, if between Patchwork and other games like this is very interesting. I especially like the board. So that was Isle of Cats.
5-minute initiative is complete.
This episode is brought to you by Blink. Why wait for Black Friday? Blink Friday starts now with up to 65% off Blink Smart Security. Check on your pets all season long with new Blink Mini 2K Plus cameras. See your gifts arrive in head-to-toe view with Blink Video Doorbell. From pet parents to jet setters to busy families, Blink Friday deals have your holidays covered. Shop now at amazon.com/blink.
All right, Tony, I teased a few weeks ago. I was playing Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles. I've completed the game. Took me around 35-ish hours. This game is now in my top 10 easily of top 10 games of all time.
Okay.
All time. It is
all time.
Absolutely amazing. I get why this game came out in the 90s. Some people considered it one of their top games of all time. I get it. Even though you look at it and go, oh, it's just a tactical RPG. It's just like any other tactical RPG, like Fire Emblem and stuff. You move around, you build a little army. It's the job system thing that just absolutely blew me away. Where at the very beginning of the game, every character starts out as either a squire or a chemist. But as they get XP, you can give them a different job. Maybe the squire becomes a knight. And then the better that knight becomes, the more experience he gets in that job, he unlocks abilities. But what's cool is there's even further jobs, but those jobs may require multiple jobs. It may say, all right, you need level 3 of thief and level 2 of knight in order to take this job. And once you do that, you get this one and you can start unlocking abilities. But the thing is, though, is that you can kind of dual job. So you have a primary job that gives you access to all the abilities that you've unlocked for it. A secondary job gives you all access to abilities. And then things like passive and reactive abilities, those can come from anything that you've learned. So I could have learned a healing skill from a mage. And even though I'm playing as a ninja, I can slot in this healing skill into like my passive ability and it will still work. So your builds of your characters are just crazy. And it is so much fun to finally unlock what you think is that perfect combo, take it onto the battlefield and it work for you. It's like, oh baby, that was sweet. I'm going to activate this to set this up. Then I'm going to drop a major bomb ability on everybody. It was just so good. Bravo Square Enix. And the story, okay, that's just the gameplay, but the story is really, really good. It's very Games of Thrones-ish. A lot of intrigue going on. You really don't know what's going on until the end. So you're engaged in the story. And for this version, they've added voice acting. So the original didn't have that. And it's some of the best voice acting I've ever heard, to where I wasn't skipping through a lot of dialogue because I just wanted to hear it played out. Yeah, if you got 35 hours to 40 hours to play, I think it's heavily worth investing in trying Final Fantasy Tactics. Again, it goes into my pantheon of top games of all time. And it's one of those I will probably play again because next time I play, I'll probably do totally different builds.
And so I'm just checking this out. So I understand that this is a game that came out a while ago that they've remastered. Other than the remastering, there's not that much change to it. Is that what I'm getting from this? A refined gameplay enhanced version provides a perfect way to immerse yourself in the world of Ivalice, along with the fine-tuning of several features and battle mechanics. The inclusion of a more accessible Squire difficulty setting makes the enhanced version an excellent starting point for first-time players. Okay. I've never played one of the Final Fantasy Tactics. So, okay.
So I played Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, and I thought that it was the same game. It's not.
Okay.
So I thought I already played this, but Final Fantasy Tactics Advance that was on the Game Boy Advance is not Final Fantasy Tactics that came out on the PlayStation.
And this is the turn-based thing that, like Fire Emblem, that I'm not a big fan of?
Yes.
Okay.
It is like that, or Advance Wars really kind of isn't the same thing because there's no character progression in that one. But again, it's the job system that I just got. So, sometimes I would spend just 15 minutes inside the character creation trying to decide, okay, I'm going to spend these points to put it on this one so I can learn this over here to put this over here and make this my primary, make this reactionary skill. All right, let's go on the battlefield and try this out and see if it works. One of them was so wild. It was called an arithmetician. It was insane to where you could target anybody on the field if it mathematically fit the equation that you set up. It could be like whatever their experience is divided, and it's like divide by 3. And if it's a whole number, it will hit them. So anybody whose experience is divided by 3 and it comes out as a whole number, you hit this spell, it targets everybody, including your own teammates. So you have to be careful in what you do, but there are certain things that you can put on your teammates and yourself that would negate the spell that you're getting ready to cast. And it was just so rewarding hitting that button and just seeing these a blast of light hitting all over the field, but your guys weren't affected. It was so good.
And I'm seeing here, for an additional $10, you can get the deluxe edition, which includes kind of some probably skins or whatever, a beret, a tunic, a blade. I'm like, okay, so I'm not sure what it is. And now, my gosh, this thing's available on everything. Xbox, Steam, Nintendo, PlayStation. It's on everything.
Yep. Yep,
Okay.
it is. So yeah, it's not a Switch only thing. I just happened to play on the Switch too because there was an upgrade for it, a free upgrade, which got a little bit of some graphical enhancements. But again, the voice acting just blew me away. I cannot believe how good the voice acting was. It just kept me engaged. And the story, I just wanted to know how the story ended. There's a post-credit scene that I'm like, I don't know about that sort of deal, but everything else I really enjoyed.
Okay. All right. So while you're doing that, I'm back in the game that's been around for freaking ever, Guild Wars 2.
Mm-hmm.
Visions of Eternity was released.
Yes.
And this is where you're going off to an island, and I haven't gone there other than just teleporting to people so that I can explore to see what it looks like. I haven't started the story or anything like that. So, I mean, it's gorgeous. I didn't realize that they could do the water mechanisms or the water views, the going under the water. It's like, oh my gosh, they've really enhanced it. They've added some new elite specs, and I've already unlocked 3 of them and completely filled them out for my necromancer,
Sheesh.
my ranger, and my guardian. I'm really digging the guardian one. It's a lot of fun. The necromancers, it's a ritualist, and I've been playing some with people that have it. That is like the ultimate buff healer now that's out there on the game. I don't know how it would play by itself, but I haven't gone over there and done any of the story. I haven't done any of the achievements, and there are my least favorite thing all over that island, and that is jumping puzzles. I hate jumping puzzles. Hate them. And you can't use the teleporter rewinder or whatever it's called, where you can drop something on the ground, and if you fall, you can go right back to that position.
Yeah.
No. That you won't get the achievements. And I'm just like, I am not, it's the combination of a jump and a glide to get to a point. And if you miss, I'm like, oh, this sucks. I'm not going to be doing these.
So how in the world did you find enough hero points left to unlock that much without doing the new stuff?
Well, I've done End of Dragons. I've got all those maps unlocked. I've got all the Path of Fire, all of the, the jungle one, which I can't even think, Heart of Thorns. I've got all those unlocked, and so I'm able to quickly navigate through it. And with the sky scale, with the flying mount, it's like, let's go. And because this thing just released, people are revisiting some of the old hero points that you couldn't do by yourself. So you're basically just doing a hero train with a whole bunch of people. And so I was like, okay, it's Guild Wars. It's 15 minutes of my time at night. And I'm like, okay, I'll do the stories as I get through all the other stories. So I still haven't even finished the other past stories, but it's something to do. I know you've got 35 hours in the fantasy, but for me, this is, what do I want to go accomplish right now? Oh, let's go work on some crafting. Oh, let's go do the dailies. Let's go kill some stuff. Let's go run through this story that's not going to take. And then they released the matchmaking for fractals now. Shoot, that was so nice to be able to just say, yeah, put me in a fractal group, and you just go out there, and if you get into a good one, you'll be done in no time, and people don't yell at you if you screw up because you've never done it. That's always nice.
And what do those give you?
Fractals are the mini dungeons, and it just gives you loot, basically.
Okay.
It helps you build your gold supply so you can buy. As I look at it, Guild Wars is nothing more than an economic engine, an economic city. It's a spreadsheet game.
Right.
If you want this fine, keep a gear or whatever for your character, you're going to have to make some gold. To make some gold, you need to go do this. You need to go do this. All right, now you got to go loot all these things. I'm like, holy cow. But still, 13 years ago, it was the game. I've done the main story 3 times now, so I just need to get over to
Really?
Yeah. It's easy to do now.
Do the main story 3 times though?
Just to get all the stuff done. I missed some achievements.
Oh.
So the other characters, I need to get those characters to go do it.
Wow. I don't know if I'd go through the main story again.
They've made it better, easier, especially with the elites. I am so fed up with Heart of Thorns and that map. Oh my God. People love that map. I hate that map.
No,
so many levels. Oh, it's
no,
awful.
I can't stand. See, the thing is that I couldn't decide with the new stuff. What the new elite specs I haven't done a necro. I don't ever build a necro, but to me, the necro is the one that looks the coolest. So I may spin a necro, do an 80 level boost, and just go from there.
What you need to do is the engineer everybody is loving. Really?
Well, I mean, that's one of my mains. Okay. I mean, I'll try it.
Give it a try. And hey, if we can ever coordinate getting online, I can help you. There's one hero point I cannot do by myself. Others can. But it's the stupid mushroom queen. I cannot do that one at all. Oh my gosh. It poisons me and knocks me out, and my necro's sitting there dead. I'm like, oh, this sucks. Stupid. So anyway, but finished up Mad King, got all those rewards. Yep.
Halloween night. I did it.
You did it?
I always do it on Halloween. Yep.
Okay. Didn't do it throughout the 3 weeks it was going on, huh?
I was so busy playing Final Fantasy. I know. It was like, I need to go do this, but I want to play Final Fantasy. And now, in preparation of Metroid Prime coming out December 4th, I picked up Dragon Quest 1 and 2 remake. And the Dragon Quest 1 is only like 12, 15 hours. So I'm playing through it now to kind of pacify me until it comes out.
All right. There's our video game update. Hope you enjoyed the show. But with that, keep rolling dice
and taking names. Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening. Don't forget you can check out all of our social info over at rolldicetakenames.com. That's links to our X, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Join our Discord. I mean, it's all right there. It's kind of our one-stop shop for all the links to every other thing that we do, especially the Discord where we interact with a lot of different people. We're almost at like 600 people now. Make sure to check that out. We would love to see you. And don't forget, you can now sign up for Secret Squirrel.
Okay, Marty. I know I'm not going to be Mr. Christmas, but if Hallmark ever needs to do one called Finding Mr. Grinch, I'm there for you.
You're a shoo-in.
Hey there, I'm Hugh from Podderation. If you liked today's episode, why not check out Dice Will Roll, the queerest Pathfinder show on the planet? Join a crew of 4 friends asking you the important questions about RPGs, like, is it cannibalism to eat a polymorph chicken? From getting 4 nat 1s of the roll to standing up to the darkest forces in the multiverse, Dice Will Roll is available wherever you get your podcasts.